Hey FlossTube, I'm Kathleen and this is StitchuationNormal episode 42. Welcome back everybody. Welcome for the first time everybody. Just welcome. I have been away 3 weeks. I think this is 3 weeks and I think I did 3 weeks before that, so that's pretty good. I'm getting back to a little consistency. The last 2 weeks have been a little bit crazy. Did I introduce myself? I will just quickly say, as I always do, I am Kathleen and I am a Southern Ontario cross-stitcher that talks a lot. That's the Coles Notes version of me. I interrupt myself as I've already done, but I'll give you a little life update. I've got a fully finished object. I've actually got, a fully finished object and then a fully finished, but I'm going to change something on it object. And then, so like, what is that considered? If you have to change something on it, you're not fully satisfied with it, but it is fully finished. There's Mew, that's my cat. And then I have a finished object and then some whips, new start, strawberry pick and sell, 22 because it's 2022, and storage, floss storage. I don't know, I jumped on a bandwagon that maybe some of you have as well, and that's okay. She's walking on my finished object. I don't want her little kitten paws dirtying up my piece. Okay, anyways, some storage, and yeah, it's fun. Got some fun stuff. Not really any haul so much. One little thing, but that's okay because I had a lot. If you missed last week's episode, check it out because I talk about all the haul I got at Stitch North and everything there. So, okay. So my last couple weeks, I booked a spot for next year at Stitch North. I did go with the April date, which was, I think it's April 27th. I think today's April 27th. No, I think it's the 28th. Well, don't know. One of those days. And if you watch Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch, which I'm sure you guys all do, she also booked the April weekend for Stitch North for next year, which is like so fun. Actually, a few people have, and I'm very, very excited. I'm a little bit like, have FOMO because I'm like, there's 2 weekends. There's a May weekend. I think there might be a few May weekend dates still available. And also keep your eyes on it. There's a Stitch North Facebook page, or you can sign up for the emails through Evertote, because sometimes people change their mind and they can't go, and so that might happen. A spot might open up, but there's a May weekend and I am like, oh, well, who's gonna be there? Like, I want to do both. I don't want to miss out on anything. Whereas this year it was only one weekend, so we were all together, but it's gonna be fun no matter what bunch you end up with. And you'll get a recap if you can't go. I'll give the recap. But Liz, she lives in Texas, and she was saying, so like, what should I expect temperature wise next year? And this was a couple weeks ago, and I was like, well, it's hit or miss. Sometimes we get snow, sometimes it's like a hot summer day. It's hard to know the end of April. And sure enough, yesterday when I woke up, there was snow on all the roofs of the houses. For you certain parts of American viewers, maybe you say roof instead of roof. I just love to bring up our little Canadianisms. I don't think I didn't notice anything about me saying roof, but I do notice that in some states they say roof. Maybe someone can explain that to me in the comments. What differentiates roof and roof? But that's not stitching, but I am curious, so please tell me. So anyways, I haven't told her, but she'll find out now if I don't message her first, that yeah, we had snow and then I walked to school with the kids and it snowed while we were walking, but it didn't stay on the ground. That's the weird thing. It wants to be spring. Like, I have my daffodils are up, but then also there's snow. So it's a weird time. Ontario doesn't know what's going on. It just, weather-wise, you just never know. So like, it's usually when I pack up the snowsuits and the hats and stuff for the kids that it'll snow one more time. I waited so long. Mew's on the table. Mew, she's not allowed on the table, and she usually will jump off if I say something, unless it's a muffin wrapper. Then she doesn't care and she goes fully feral cat and just has to eat the muffin wrapper. And then she throws up. It's awful. It's a bad cycle. We don't want to hear about that. It's gross. Okay. So anyways, Liz, I hope it's nice when you come next year. So 1 year away, and I didn't like that. I didn't like that it was a year away because like we finished Stitch North and we're like, woo, like we're booking for next year. And then it's like, well, it's not 364 days. It's actually more because it's a little later this year, but I'm just so happy that it's happening and that I can go. So I booked it off. I don't have any weddings that weekend or anything. It's exciting. So, okay. So that was like the high point of my last 3 weeks. And then following that, I got really sick and I couldn't get out of bed, and I had all the COVID symptoms, and I kept testing, and I was negative, and then I started to feel better on like day 4 or 5, and then it was like, oh, you have COVID. And I was like, well, right before Easter. So we had to isolate. But my kids didn't get sick at all. They didn't test positive. My husband had no symptoms though. He did end up testing positive. He tested a couple times and was negative, and then he eventually did test positive. But no symptoms, so they were okay. But it was me that was sick, and I was like, what the heck? And my mom kept trying to figure out who gave it to me. And I'm like, I don't know, it could be anyone. Like, it's going around and people are catching it, and it doesn't matter who gave it to you. We're not doing contact tracing, so. Anyways, so then we kept the boys home from school the week after Easter as well, so it's been a long couple weeks. However, I did get a lot of stitching in. Not the first couple days of being sick, but then once I was just fatigued and like had the cough, then I was like, okay, well, I can stitch in bed, and it was really nice. So I've got stuff to show you. Anything else going on? My sister had her baby. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. Oh yeah, I did mention it. But she wasn't doing well health-wise at that point, so I want to update you and let you know that she is back. She's home, baby's good, she's doing good, and baby's so cute. So, okay. I think that was all for the life update. My kids are good. They're happy to be at school. They've been playing a lot of basketball outside at the school and at our house, and it's really nice to see them out there playing with their friends and everything, because it's been a long couple of years for them. And yeah, and I love basketball. My husband loves basketball, so it's fun watching them get an interest in it. And they can't play on their school's team until like older grades, which is so weird to me, because I think when I was in elementary school you could play grade 4 and sometimes even grade 3, but grade 4, 5, 6 was a junior team, and then grade 7 and 8, because our school was kindergarten to grade 8, and then high school was grade 9 to 13, because our province had grade 13 up until my husband graduated. So anyways, you don't need to know about our education system, but anyways, it'll be exciting to watch them play. I bring them to like some of the games at the school to cheer on like the girls team and the boys team, and they like it. They actually said it's a little too loud, but I'm like, well, when you get older, you're gonna love all those sounds when you're playing. So anyways, let's get into the cross stitch. I'm very excited to show you. I guess it could be like a mom's minute, but I did it. Okay, so if you remember, I used to show pieces that my mom had stitched or that were in my mom's house, and I called it Mom's Minute, and I would feature them. And like my sister's cross stitched, and my mom did, like I said, so she has a lot of pieces hanging in her walls, so I would show them all, but there was never one by me because I never did one. And then once I started cross stitching, I hadn't stitched her anything. So I if you remember, I was stitching for Christmas for my mom, and I finished the piece, and then I sent it away to get framed, and then I said I was gonna show it last video, but then I didn't show it because I forgot to insert the video, but I took it from her house because I was like, I need to show you. So this is a Stoney Creek piece called My Mother. I believe it's Stoney Creek. It's upstairs. Or it might just be called Mother. You can watch my previous videos to find it, because I don't know how else to let you know what it is, but I stitched it on Ada with the called for DMC, and there was a lot of back stitching in it, and I actually really love how it turned out. And I got it framed at a local framer in Niagara for aunties. It's in St. Catharines, and he does an amazing job. He knows how to stretch fabric, and he has framed cross-stitch pieces for years and years. And he actually did like my mom's through the 80s and the 90s, and he's doing mine now, which is fun. So here it is. I'll stop talking about it. Let's see. I don't want you to get that glare. Is that better? Okay. I'm gonna tilt it down. It is the museum glass, but because I'm right in front of the window, you're gonna get a bit of a glare. I'm gonna bring it closer. I guess, should I read it to you? Mother, like whispering grains of sand blowing in the wind, your gentle ways have guided me through all the tears and grins, our walks and talks and lots of hugs. Oh, I'm like, what are you seeing right now? Lots of talk. Lots of hugs have taught me truth and wisdom, as well as firmly reined in tugs that saved me from temptations. The bustles and burdens of each day made each moment precious, when I could cuddle in your arms and tell you all my wishes. Though many years have come and gone, sweet lullabies and storybooks still echo in my dreams, Please know how much I love you, Mom, for I know that God must see what perfection he has wrought in choosing you for me. So that's my little piece for my mom. And you can see he really did a beautiful job with the mat and the frame. So we picked the frame and the mat, my mom and I, and I just love this like white scoring that he did. Again, I don't know all the framing terms, but it's, and my mom's a purple person, so yeah, we had really nice blue and a really nice green matte option, but I just love this, and it kind of matches the frame, and there's my little initials. I hope my fingernail isn't dirty. I'm moving too much. I've noticed that I move too much, so there it is right there, boop. But look at the detail in the basket. Like, that took me way longer than I thought it would to do the basket. And all these flowers. I love doing these flowers though, and the vines. And I got really good at doing French knots because there's a lot of eyes in here that I had to dot. So this was my piece for my mom, and now it's in the spot. So, okay, there's a spot. Oh my gosh, there's a man walking by our house right now. Okay, he wants me to come to the door. Give me 1 second. Okay, well I didn't interrupt myself there, but that man needed to ask if it was okay to go in my backyard. And I said yes, in case you were wondering. No, I don't think I'm saying anything spot. Don't know what I'm saying. Okay, so my mom has always hung the cross-stitch pieces in right beside the piano. Like all my sister's ones have been there, and like the ones she's done, and now this one's in the spot. I'm like, oh, like it's a little. I'm out of breath from getting up and getting the door. It's like cross-stitch, like rite of passage. I don't know what we would call it, but it's fun. I never thought I would be in the spot, and maybe it won't be forever, but I'm in the spot. This piece made it. I thought she'd want to put this in her bedroom, but it's in the family room beside the piano, which is, it looks really nice. So that's my fully finished object. Let's see if I can give you, okay, there we go. So yes, we did do the museum glass. My mom wanted the museum glass, and it is a big difference getting the museum glass. Look, okay, it's because I've tilted it down. Look how close I can get. Now you can see it. Okay, the man's walking by again. He probably just thinks I'm talking to myself, and I'm just like showing the court my cross stitch. So there it is. One final scan of it all. Yeah, it's perfect. He did such a good job. So I will link for Auntie's in case anyone in the Niagara area wants to get something framed. It was expensive, of course, more expensive than if you were to go to Michael's, but again, he knows what he's doing, and this is like a local business. This isn't like, as Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch has said, like, you don't get 75% off because it's not Michael's, but it's good quality, great, like it was quick, less than a week, like it was just a couple days, and he had it ready. So, and he knows what he's doing. So anyways, that's my fully finished object. My fully finished object that I want to fix and change is, I'll show a picture of it here. It is the piece that I stitched for my sister for the baby, and it is by Lizzie Kate. I think it's called A Little Baby. Look at me forgetting my charts and what things are called. And I just got so excited because they finally got home from the hospital, and I was going to be able to see them. So I just ran to Michael's like on my way to see the baby and got it and just framed it with one that I found there. So if you remember, it was like a little scrap. It was like 5x5 scrap of fabric that I used, but it was like the perfect fabric for it. And I just like painter's taped it to the back of the frame because I was so excited. And then I was like, man, I'm gonna need to take that back at some point though, so I can put like some batting and like properly frame up. This frame was just perfect for this square frame, and I love how it turned out, and it matches the nursery and everything. And I did newborn pictures for my sister. I forgot to mention that in the life update, and it was so fun, and like baby so squishy and cute, and she's like a real grunter, and she's just always like, well, not like that. That's too much vocal cord, but it's like, I don't know. I can't do it very good, but you know how babies grunt even when they're like drinking their milk or whatever? Anyways, I love her. She's so cute. So that's that one. That's my fully finished object. That's almost, I still need to fix it. I want to make it better. And my sister's like, it looks fine. I'm like, yeah, but like, I know. Now that I know things, I can't unsee them. Like old news to stitching Kathleen would have been like, this is great. And then now I'm like, no, it needs like a little layer of batting, and then it needs to be like properly put on there. And yeah, anyways. So then I have a finished object. It is My Mother's House by Barrick, and Oh, that man's walking by. It's making me annoyed. Sorry, guys. I'm just gonna wait till he passes because it's stressing me out. He's like literally wearing a bright orange jacket and like, it's hard to miss him. I can't ignore it. Okay, he's gone. My Mother's House by Kathy Barrick. This was my oldest whip and I finished it. I didn't iron it though because I have a little bit of chocolate on it that I need to take out. Can you see that? I'll peek over. Yes, you can see. There we go. I love it. It really came together when I put these little, once I filled in the spaces with these, it really came together. Like I put the initials in first and then I don't know what I did now. But I put all the initials in, so I'll go through the initials. I'll probably, once I frame it, I'll probably go over it again with you, but maybe that's boring. But okay, this was my dilemma. I'll read you it first and then I'll tell you my dilemma. I'm bad at holding things, but that's not my dilemma. Okay, it says, there is no place like my mother's house built in 1973 because that's the year my mom and my dad got married. So that's what I based it off of. It had just like a year, but I put that year in because that's this is a family history piece. So I started here and this was my dilemma was, do I put my maiden name? Do I put everyone's maiden name? Because these are all women in my life. We start here with me, KMK, and then my mom is MMES. And let me just say the M is the biggest letter that was in the alphabet, the stitch alphabet that came with it. And there was not a lot of room because I don't think Kathy Barrick expected me to have a million M's, but like M, not an M, the N, not an M, but close, M, those are the M's, that's a lot of M's, that's like wide. So anyways, so I put me and then my mom and then my mom's mom here, MLL, she's the one that just passed away. And her M is my M. I'm named after her. The M is for Magella, and I'm Kathleen Magella. And then MS is my dad's mom, and I wanted to put her middle initial in, and I couldn't think of her middle name, and I was like, what the heck? And it wasn't in her obituary, and I called my mom, I'm like, what? Because my dad's passed away, so I can't ask him. And I asked my mom, and she's like, I don't know. And so she starts calling my dad's siblings, and they're like, she doesn't have one. I was like, okay, she doesn't have one. That makes sense. So that's MS. And then OP is, the O is for Orlean, and she was like a grandmother to me growing up, and she is not blood related. We called her Aunt Orlean, even though she wasn't our aunt, and again, no blood relation, but she was just one of those people that was very important in my life. And when I think of like my mother's house, like that's the same feel, right? Why I put these people in there is like, this is where my mom came from, my dad came from, all these places, and her home always felt like home too to me. So I made sure that she was in there. And then here we have my mother-in-law, SFK, and her house always feels like home too. Like, and it always did. She's very warm, and her home is always warm, and it's my husband's home. That's his mother's house. So then we have her mother is NIS, and I only was able to know her, like my husband's maternal grandmother, for I think a year, but she felt like a grandma. Like it felt like I'd known her forever, and she treated me so well and so nicely, and I have a special place in my heart for her. So she is here. And then this is my husband's paternal grandmother, who I never met, and I don't know that he ever met her either. So, but I wanted to have her in there. So this is my mother's line, all the women, and my husband's women, I guess you could say. So that's what this piece is. This is my mother's house. I love it. I didn't put the year that I did this on here, but I have it in my stitch journal, and I'm probably, when I frame it, I'm gonna fill out one of those little cards that you can put information on, or I might even just tape an envelope to the back. Like once this part's on, I'll put like an envelope right here, and then I'll just have like a little letter in there that says who all the initials are. And then if my kids have it, or if it ends up at the thrift store and someone likes that story, then they can know who, because I'm always curious, who are these initials? And then I can put the year on there too. So that's my mother's house. I love it. I stitched it 3 strands over 2, and it's 25 count cream Lugana. And it's very like thick because I did 3, like, I don't know if you can see that or not. I'm giving you weird angles here on this, but I am looking forward to, okay, yeah, there's a couple chocolate spots, so I gotta get the Tide pen and do that, and then I can iron it, and then I can finish it and look for a frame. I'm really excited to find a frame for this one. And like I said, this was my oldest whip that I had, and it was the first like fancy chart I got, like that wasn't from a cross stitcher magazine or like, I don't know, like a fun like Pixel People type one. So yeah, love it. So once I finished that, I started working on some whips, and I pulled out, I think this might be, now that I finished my mother's house, this might be my oldest whip. It is Riley Harbor, also by Kathy Barrick. So I don't know if I just got hooked on Kathy Barrick and went there, but I think it might be my second oldest whip, and that's why I pulled it out. Yeah, so I got, okay, so this is the size of the piece, and this is like the halfway point is this house. So I'm working on this side, and I put in these houses, or these 2 houses I think were in there. These little houses take so long. And then I put this little bird in, and I started this tree, and I did this little pavement, and there's like another layer of houses here, and then there's like water down here. I'm excited to do the water. The water was really fun to do, and so I made myself, I was like, you need to do more houses before you can have more fun with that water. Because then I was like, I'm scared if I do the water, then I'll be like, get like the dopamine hit from having done that, and then not do the houses at all, because I'm like, hey, I don't want to, and then leave it, and then it's like an old whip. I don't want it to be an old whip. I want to hang this up. I want to start hanging my pieces up. I've got like this wall here, like around the TV I can do stuff with. So this is what I got done. So this is a hand dyed by Rolanda thread floss, and I love it. I love how it turned out. And then this is one of Ymir's Almond M&M's hand-dyed silk. And I love how that turned out too. Because there's not a lot of color in this piece, so it's fun to like just have these kind of pop. And I don't do a lot with variegated floss, but I really love how that turned out there. And I've got this, like Anna from Stitch Toolbox, she was stitching this, we were doing this as a stitch along together. She finished hers already, I did not, but she sent me these like floss wraps. So I put, this is the whale color, the hand dyed by Rolanda, and then this is my silks here. You can like really see the variegation. I love how variegated it is. So those are my little colors there, and that's what I was working on. And this is like a, I think it's an 18 count Fiddler's cloth, because there's a little oatmeal-y flex, maybe Fiddler's Light. And yeah, that's that one. I'm excited to keep working on it. Like the retreat really got me so excited about cross stitch again. I was like, I'm enthusiastic, but I was like, oh, it's so fun. And then when I was sick, I was able to do so much. So I was like, oh, this is fun. Okay. And then I decided to keep it in the family, Kathy Barrick's family, that is. And even though I still have a few other Kathy Barrick pieces, and I have some Hello from Liz Mathews pieces that I haven't finished, I was like, I'm starting a new Hello from Liz Mathews. Liz Mathews is Kathy Barrick's daughter, in case you didn't know. Berry Patch, this is my Strawberry Pickin' 22 Sal piece. I changed it this is the third one that I said I was doing, but this is the real deal, this one. So I'm gonna bring it closer. It's this little bunny and like all the strawberries and like spring and the beehive, like everything I love about this piece. And I wanted to do it for Strawberry Pickin' 22 Sal, but I couldn't get my hands on it because by the time like it was mailed to me by, sorry, I don't know if you can see that. By the time it would be mailed to me, it would be too late. And then when I was at Stitch North, there was Pastime, oh gosh, I said it wrong so many times last time. Pastime Pieces is what I think it is. I'm so sorry if I'm saying it wrong. They had it, so I grabbed it and love it. So I'll show you my start. I got the little bunny in, and I was doing this while I was sick, like Easter weekend, and it was so fun. There's a little bit of back stitching I need to do on this little bunny. I think like between his teeth, like in the white area, needs to be put in. And I think there's a couple whiskers, but I love it. Like, it's so fun. So this fabric, I'm not sure what this fabric is. This is from, I got a bunch, I guess I can show it to you after, but before Christmas, a cross stitcher, a lovely cross stitcher, Maureen Williams, came and, well, I can show you it all now. Williamson, sorry, I said Williams. Williamson came over. She had emailed me and said she was going through her stash and she was getting rid of some things and if I wanted them. And then I sent her my address. She's like, I live like a block away from you. And I was like, no way, which is so exciting because when you find out there's like cross stitchers that live near you, you get excited. So she came over, she was so sweet. She actually also brought over a gift card for the donations for the school when I was doing that, the Amazon wish list thing, which was so amazing. And she's amazing. I feel like a little ingrate because I never actually showed it on my channel. I think that's when I was having like my meltdowns, but she was so organized. This box was so fun to open. So she gave me, this is a piece of the fabric from her. And then like there was like a whole bunch of different kinds. There was this, look at this color. I didn't even know what this is, but I love it. I could do like maybe a little ornament or like a Halloween one or a Christmas one or anything, but I love it. It's very fun. And then just some like different types of fabric, different colors, which is so good for me because I'm like still new and like figuring things out. So this is a 28 count piece. This was a big bunch, 36 by 40. So I actually don't know what count that is. I never do though because I thrift a lot of fabric and I never know, but I just wanted to show you this blue. It's like a nice like bluey gray. I don't know what color it actually is, but it's like bluey greeny gray. It's probably not showing up in the video, but it's just lovely. So it was so nice of her. She gave some charts and some floss, and she even like had these little baggies of like the fun variegated DMCs, which I love. And then like, this is hand-dyed fibers. Oh my gosh, my fingernails are so dirty. I'm sorry. I was volunteering at the school and I was like ripping boxes apart and it's gross. I hope you didn't notice, but now you will, but don't look. So anyways, these flosses too. So thank you, Maureen. I never thanked you on my video because I'm the FlossTube ingrate, but I really appreciate it because it's come in handy big time. And this was like the perfect piece of fabric for this piece. So that's Berry Patch. I don't know what I'm going to work on this week. I don't know. I'm like, I like what I've been working on, but I also want to spice it up a little. So I might throw something new in, or I want to finish Riley Harbor really bad. There's a couple that I want to finish. I want to work on Little Women. It's like Little Women, I feel like I get so much done, but then there's just so much on that piece. So I don't want to bore you guys by being like, here's Little Women again, but that might be how it goes, but maybe not. I don't know. I just have so many whips. So I'm going to go through my whips. I'm going to figure out what I'm close to finishing. I'm going to figure out what is like, I've been working on for a long time and what to finish. So, okay, I'm going to show you my storage organization, but first I'm going to show you my only little bit of haul that I have, which was $1.49 at Value Village. My husband picked it up for me. And it's these two little snow globes. It's like they're Christmas cards. I'm guessing this came out of a cross stitch magazine and they are covering this one, but it's like a little snowman. So it's like just the full kit. I thought it was so cute. I was like, yeah, grab that for me. I might like give it to someone that's like new to stitching, or I might stitch it for someone. Who knows? But I was like, I like it. It's very cute. Maybe I'll do it as a giveaway. I want to do some giveaways. So I'm probably going to do the giveaway next week. Actually, I've got something cooking right now with Sheba Designs, Melissa. She's the project bag lady that we love. Well, she's one of them. We love a lot of project bag ladies, don't we? Some of us are project bag ladies. So stay tuned for that next episode because that's going to be a really, really fun giveaway slash special treat for everyone. And I was talking to Bryn and Nettle, and they want to do something for you guys. So, and if you remember, they had that beautiful hand-dyed fabric and floss that I bought when I was at Stitch North. So stay tuned for that stuff. I'm going to show you my storage. Okay, so if you remember, I was storing my floss, like my extra floss, in these, like, I think I called them fishing totes because it looks like I'm going fishing and I'm not. They're like this, and then like the little baggies, the Flossway baggies, like line up in it. And it was just, they were just like bulky, and I didn't like the way it looked on my shelves. And I also, it didn't hold everything. I still had like another shoe, I had like 2 shoe boxes on top of that as well. And it was just, it didn't look good. It was too much, it was too cluttered. And so I decided I was gonna try something that I saw a lot of other people doing with their cross stitch stuff, which is these puppies from Michaels. So I think it was $25 here, and I don't think the coupon works on it. And they just snap open, you lift the lid. Oh, did I do something wrong? No, okay. And then you pull it out. So I haven't labeled them yet, but there's like all these little, like each one of these is one of these little containers. And so I just kind of like, I put all the floss baggies in here, and then like whatever random ones I had, and it's like, it's good. I really like the system. So my main floss I have in like the clear, like there's like Daria or like whatever the brand is, and it like flips open and it's like filed that way. I should have just had it here so I could show you, but I didn't. And then that's like my main, but then like all my extra floss, because I do have a lot of floss. I've thrifted a lot of floss. I've like picked up a lot of stash, and I want it organized. So I did use the Thread Stash app, and I've talked about it before. I'll share it here so you can see what it is. And I, like during Christmas, I put in every single floss that I had, and that way, and it says if it's in a project. So I have like the ones that were in my project bags, and then the ones that are in here. So I kind of know where to look for it if I'm looking for a floss. And yeah, it's a game changer. So I have them all organized that way. But what was I gonna say about that? I don't know, but it was still like, I still had to go through like all my clear totes and then go through like these ones, because I have 8 of the clear totes, the flat, like they're in that white basket, like right there. If you can see that basket is full of my DMC. It's bobbinated, so in the bobbinated cases. And then this was like the bagged ones, and it was just too many places to look. So now it's either in there or it's in this. So I have this one, like, okay, I gotta show you. Is this the fun one? Okay, so I have this one. This is like from 0 to 900. They're in here. And like, I love that you can see it. Like and it's like secure because it's in these like little disc container. I don't know, not a disc, but it's like a VHS. Like I'm snapping open a VHS. So then you slide it back in, but like, look at this. Okay. Like this one, for example, I took my tin. Remember my husband got me the A12 floss? So I put the colors on the top of this, and they're all in here. Like this is a fun little case to open. Look at all that glittery. So this is all my A12. And then if I pull, actually I can put the ones from 1 in here, because this is like my variegated ones, or like silky. This one's like silky. And then I put all my B5200 and 310 and Ecru, like I put them all together. I don't put 310 with 310. I kind of keep them all together, so I just know to look for this one. And then this is a variegated one. These are fun. These are so fun, these last little cases. So okay, here's Bryn and Nettle. This is that floss. And then I've got my Leo and Roxy floss in there. So, and again, I'm gonna label them. Like I'll put labels here, or maybe like on the top so you can see. And then this is my other fancy floss, and like my sulky thread and my almond M&Ms, silky, and then like, yeah, it's classic Colorworks and all of that jazz is in there. Maybe you can see it better that way. My hands are shaky. And then I did, oh, this is in case I want to bobbinate stuff. This is my bobbination bin. And then I have all of my thread drops or floss drops or whatever you call them. So I've got like a lot of like whatever these are, whatever you call these, like thread drops or floss drops or thread keeps, or I think this is a thread keep. So they're all in here. I love, it makes me so happy because again, these were in like these were upstairs in a different place, so that wasn't good. Then I've got my needles. So these are like, they open and put your needles in. And then this was from Sandra McGinnis. She was at Stitch North, and she gave me this. So I put my counters in here, and then I put my needles. I kept like the DMC packet because I can't remember what size needles are. I guess I could figure it out, but so like these are my 24s, and then I put this here because these are my 26s, and then this is my 28s. Boop, boop. And I slid in like my extra package in there. But again, my counters, my little strawberry counter that I love so much from Rocky Mountain Needle Minders. Oh, and there's one that fell. This is, someone made this one for me. Well, and gave it to me. I don't know if they made it for me, but yeah. And Sandra has a shop, Fiber Insanity. She's Fiber Insanity and Cross Stitch Squad on Instagram too, if you want to check her out. So how cute is that little? So I keep that in there with my little, that's this one, my needles. And then the last one that isn't floss is this fun little pack. I put extra scissors, like this. Okay, I'm gonna put this, I wanted to show you this, that's why I kept it out. This is from Sterling Girl 31 at Stitch North, and it's like a little, you can put it on like a zipper pull, or you can put it on like scissors if they were thin enough. You can do whatever you want, but I just love how pretty that is. Like the light's catching it. Yeah, I love it so much. So there's that. I have like these for floss, or whatever you want to put on there. It doesn't have to be this. If you remember last video, I was like, this is from Pastime Pieces, and I was like, is it for knitting or whatever? And Shiloh was like, no, it's a corner gauge. So if you want to start, not a center start, if you want to start on the edge, then you kind of, you put your fabric on here, and then you know this is 1.5 inches, this is a 2.5. So depending on how much fabric you want, that helps you know where to start. So it's super cool. I love it now that I know what it is. I loved it too, but I didn't know what it was. And then my extra scissors and all my stuff, all my fancy stuff in here. Well, it's all fancy stuff. So that's my organization. Oh, needle minders. Okay, so then I know some people have put their needle minders, they have like a designated one of these for their needle minders, but all my needle minders just kept sticking together, and I couldn't see them. So I took the lid from the Etoile, because it came in this big tin, and I put them all on this. These are ones that I'm not using, but like I have a lot that are in use, so that means I have a lot of needle minders. But Stitch North, Mental Health Matters, some mermaid stuff. There's some needles on there. Whoops. Just this one, the Yellow Submarine for when I stitch. Blackbird Designs Yellow Submarine. I've been watching the Beatles documentary. Well, there's a million. This is the rooftop one on Disney Plus, and I want to say it's kind of boring. I'm not bored, but I could see how it would be boring to someone else. I like it at bedtime. It's like just very relaxing. It's not intense. It's like, it blows my mind watching them like come up with the songs or like variations on it, or like in the beginning it's like, oh, I got this idea for a song, and you know what song it is, and then you're like, oh my gosh, they're so good. Like, that's, how do they find each other? You know what I mean? So anyways, and like just like John and Paul like working together, and I always kind of didn't like John, but now I like him a lot more after watching like all this behind the scenes. It's just behind the scenes footage of them recording. So each episode is an hour and a half. It's directed by Peter Jackson, which is no joke. But yeah, I really like it. So I've been watching it, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do all the Blackbirds. I'm gonna do all that series. So, and we know I've done Strawberry Fields Forever, and I have Blackbird by Blackbird, and then I think I have one other one, but I still need to get the Yellow Sub. Oh no, it's Octopus's Garden. No, well, that's one too. Don't listen to me. I'm getting carried away a little bit. Was there anything else I wanted to tell you guys? I don't know. Shiloh's the one that told me about the stitch gauge though. She knows everything. I feel like she knows everything. Maybe because I've been only stitching for 2 years and she's been stitching for forever, for over 20. But okay, so that's my stitch organization. I think I showed you everything I'm working on. I'm hoping that I'll be back in 3 weeks, maybe 2 weeks. Who knows? But I'm definitely gonna have a fun surprise from Sheba Designs for you guys. So definitely check back in next time, and send me an email if you want to chat. My email is StitchuationNormal@gmail.com. I will put it in the description box, and it'll be along with any of the other shops or charts that I mentioned that I'm working on, my whips and my finishes and everything. And you can follow me on Instagram at StitchuationNormal, and make sure you like and subscribe so that you can see more videos. So Episode 42. I don't know if anyone's ever noticed, but I changed that every episode. There might be one time I forgot, but I put a little different one. I'm putting a sun because I want there not to be any more snow. I just want like sunny days to come. So that's what that's about. That is episode 42. Thank you so much for spending time with me. It means so much. I love spending time with you. I love gushing about cross stitch and getting so excited and all of that. So thank you for being my ear and my stitch buddy, and keep stitching your story. I will see you next time. Bye.